Hello guys, welcome into what I promise will be a very cool series. We will be watching EGPuma, Evil Genius's Puma. He will be the Terran, the red Terran in the bottom left, going up against LiquidHero, a very strong Protoss player from Team Liquid. He used to be on OGS, but is now repping the horse. And yes, TL's saying it is a horse. They have really cool horse shirts now that are out that I actually just bought, so I'm pretty excited about that. So now we will be watching a very cool game on Shakuras Plateau. This was part of the IPL 3 Origins, and I'm excited to see this as I have not been able to see any of the IPL pretty much. So this will be a fun experience for me, as well as I hope for you guys, as this will be a pretty cool TVP. Now we are going to be watching EGPuma, who is very strong with 1-1-1ing. This is not a great map for it, but I really just want to point that out because of the fact that Puma was able to take out MC in a really cool game on Zunlaga Caverns where he 1-1-1'd and MC ended up losing pretty badly, but Puma has just got such solid 1-1-1ing that it's not really an easy thing to go up against, and Protoss, it's a hard build to beat. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. It's always a possibility. Let's take a look at what these build orders are going to be. We are watching the barracks being thrown down. We have to keep an eye on the gas that could be thrown down to showing what Puma may go for. We are seeing pretty much a normal start from him with that gas timing. For Hero, we are going to see him getting down his next pylon. Gateway is there. We're probably going to be... That's kind of an odd thing, actually, to have the second pylon before the first gas. That's not a normal ordering for Protoss to get that out. But we are watching him get that scout. The probe will definitely get into the base. Running forward, he will be able to watch as the gas will get mined. He could theoretically gas steal to try and halt a little bit of the possibilities of what Terran can do. And he's starting close to it. He might be going for that. I don't really know. But the Marine is being built. Puma's not really focused on getting much else. He could actually wall it in, and yeah, he actually will be doing that. Supply depot at the front. This probe will die. There's no way around it. This probe will die somehow, some way, unless it's gonna... Oh, actually, well, never mind. Actually, it could have escaped, but it will not be doing so. It will go ahead and get the scout, and if Puma's gonna throw down that factory, he might actually want to wait until that probe is dead. So this probe could be delaying the build a little bit, but no, Puma's actually gonna throw down that factory. It's right off the bat, as Hero did actually manage to see it. He gets taken out. So now running around here for Hero's base, we are watching as the Shakuras core is just there, happily sitting there. Not enough gas quite yet to get that warp gate, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be coming up next. Another pylon gets thrown down as the Shakuras core does start the warp gate. And wait, Puma building a CC, canceling the factory, juking out Hero's build. You can see that Hero is still in the impression that there is a factory that was built in that spot, but a nice switch from Puma going to cause fast expand build to go down, and the bunkers being thrown down. He's basically showing Hero that a 1-1-1 just may be happening, or some kind of Hellion build, some kind of fast Banshee rush, or something along those lines, but not a expand play, not a fast expand play. And it seems that actually Puma's got a SCV that managed to survive the walking around of this stalker. So now, Reactor Marines, we're going to have 2 more barracks being thrown down. Commander, this is basically just a standard 1 Rax expand build, pretty much, that Puma's actually managing to pull out of the canceling of that factory. So here we're going to have Hero being throwing down all these guys and actually getting a Stargate. So you could be seeing Void Rays or Phoenixes. Hero does have a really solid Void Ray play. He actually beat, I think it was against FXO Moonin on Shattered Temple, one of the MLGs, where he actually got a perfect game, did not lose a single unit, and still beat one of FX Open's very strong Terran players. And Phoenixes will be the choice from Hero, so he's going to be able to do some harassment, and Puma's going to be able to actually get the scout and watch this. I mean, if he looks at the Stargate, you can actually tell what is being built. In this, you can see the outline of the Phoenix in the Stargate. So just be aware of that, guys. You can always scout what the Stargate is building. So I'm going to see this first Phoenix running forward. It will move forward. See, there is no more factory down there, but will it actually... It needs to actually see this command center. That'd be a pretty big deal if he doesn't get to see it. But those Marines are running around, and I think Hero realized that something might be up, because the odds are there's no factory anymore. I've just seen those 2 gases, and yep, he gets confirmation, sees the orb command, and knows this fast expand play is happening. So now Hero is going to go ahead and get those warp gates out, and this Nexus is throwing down. It's really late behind the Orc Command. The Orc Command is completely done when this Nexus actually starts. So that's a little bit of an unfortunate timing for Hero, but still, he's got these Phoenixes, and he could actually do some harassment with them and deal damage, get good scouting, and try and respond to what Puma's going to be doing, as Puma's going to be relying on scans pretty much to get the scouts on what Hero's going to be doing, because those Phoenixes will give Hero some map control that is very, very, very valuable. But a nice pick off on SCV over there will get a good kill, and looks like these Phoenixes will move forward. There are some Marines there, but a Mule will go down. So with that Mule going down, you can see actually 2 more being called down, so no worries there from Puma. His economy is still looking solid. He is ahead in the food count compared to Hero, but but only by a single food point count, food supply, what do you want to call it. But we are going to see Hero try and push forward, do a little bit of damage. He could pick off that SCVs. That's what he's been doing. He's been picking off SCVs, building buildings, trying to delay what Puma is going for, and he's being very, very active with these Phoenixes, doing a nice job of just being pesky, and another Mule will fall. So as these Phoenixes are running around getting good scouts, we're seeing that there's actually a probe over there ready to go ahead and just put down a proxy pylon and do some kind of just harassment and annoying play along those lines. Now we are going to be watching as these Phoenixes will be pushing forward once again. We're going to try and do a little bit of damage, but they'll pick off this one SCV and eat a few shots, but nothing too crazy, just a good bit of harass from Hero. As for his transition, he's got a forge. He is researching his armor. That will be a great way to get the strength of his zealots up there. Running out of here. Ooh, careful of that bunker. Going to be able to do a nice job of taking damage on those Phoenixes and just trying to force them back. And see Puma's being very, very good about keeping Marines around his entire base to minimize the damage of those Phoenixes. As of right now, he's only lost 3 SCVs, a couple Mules, but those don't really count as workers that have lost. But Phoenix falls. Phoenix falls, but an SCV does fall as well, so these Phoenixes are still being pesky and actually managed to do some damage to the factory. Still applying a good scout. Notice they've never really stopped moving. That's a really good sign of Hero just having great control and great multitask, not focusing too much on their production too. You can see he's starting to produce a few more Phoenixes, but he's not going crazy with them. If he tried to produce a solid 6 Phoenixes at this point, have a constant production of them, and harass Terran, it's almost an automatic loss at this point, especially with the lack of damage and the economic superiority of Puma. And now you will see another SCV go down, but now the Phoenixes will actually force the scout back. Another nice little benefit to the Phoenixes is being sure that the factory can't actually scout what Puma's doing, and that she does force a scan. That factory was supposed to act as a scout instead of a scan, but with it not being on the scout, scan gets spent. So we are having these the units here ready to be aggressive against whatever units from Hero decide to push out. But it seems that Puma's going to be in a much better spot than Hero, actually. Hero's got the +1 armor. He's getting the +1 attack. Puma has no upgrades quite yet, but he is going to go ahead and start researching, and he's getting the Ghost Academy too. So this is going to be a very, very nice, strong bio play from Puma. The starport can be out. It's got 2 medevacs out already. And he's got a nice infrastructure, good army composition, and there's the engineering bear getting the +1. This probe's going to actually, this probe's about to meet an untimely death. Boom, death. Still, looking around here, we do have a nice force of zealots and sentries. As for charge and everything, charge has not been researched. More gateways are being added, and it seems that Puma is being forced back by the presence of these units, but the Phoenixes are there. Goodbye to that Marine. He will lose its life, but Puma's still ahead in the food. And look at the worker count. Puma's actually ahead, 52 to 51. So great production over there, and these Phoenixes are going to go ahead and be really, really annoying. Take out a bunch of Marines. They are reaching a good mass where they can actually afford to do that, and it's not automatic death to the Phoenixes. You can see stim happening on those Marines. They could get picked up now, and it seems that Hero will decide to actually lose a Phoenix, but trade it for a whole bunch of Marines. Medevacs do retreat, though. They know they are valuable and get picked off by those Phoenixes, but now we're going to have these guys moving in and just being annoying, forcing Puma to stay in his base. But we do have that command center being built at that 3rd base, so Puma is going to be getting up that 3rd base very, very well, as so is Hero. So Hero's going to be even at the timing for the third, behind on the natural, so still Puma will have that little bit of a lead in that economy, especially with those mules. But with 5 medevacs out, a couple ghosts, marauders, he's got the +1 attack, he's working the +1 armor, and stim and everything are done, concussive shields, all of those upgrades. Look at the zealot that's in the line of sight blockers will just die a unfortunately leady in the face death. But still, his Marines actually going to go ahead and move forward and die to the Archon. So Archon tech is out. It looks like that's actually done through the Templar Archives. But now we're having these units moving in here. And it looks like the Phoenixes could take some hits, forcing a stim on all those units. But with this kind of medevacs, the kind of Marines and Marauders, not a big deal at all to spend that stim. So a little bit of a minor win for Hero, but nothing crazy. It seems like we're going to see a death of that Marine. Ghosts are here. They could EMP. They do EMP, getting a couple of those Phoenixes. Again, losing a little bit, but now we see all these Charlottes moving forward, doing damage. We're going to see actually those force fields kind of hurting the ability to kill this entire army, which could have actually been done by Hero, but choosing to actually go for a force fielding scheme that would allow for some free kills and then just retreating right off the bat. But looks like Hero is fully... Actually, never mind. He's actually just out of range. It's kind of funny, actually, that he can't really see this. But this PF is going to be an unfortunate position to try and break. A lot of SCVs, a lot of mules to be ready to take that out. But now Hero's aware, definitely, with seeing those SCVs mine. And it seems that he might go ahead and do a push with the Archons. With the +1 armor and the +1 attack, he could do some damage. As right now, Marines here and everything are just at 1-0. But all those Phoenixes are going to continue being pesky, and they're actually going to survive. Okay. So they will choose to survive. As we are going to watch Hero pushing forward. Zealots did get warped in at the pylon. Can do some damage. And nice, we do see that there is a force field being thrown down to make sure that that PF will fall, not get repaired. That will happen. But we're having a flank coming here from Puma's army. And this is actually looking like a bad army engagement for Hero. He's taking losses. He's killed that PF. The new loss tab is in his favor. But I don't know. This is an unfavorable position for Hero to actually engage in. He can try and get a good surround with those units. The Phoenixes are taking out a couple of medevacs, but now we see him moving in. But there's so many units. Good force field is going down, but this is not enough for Hero, I don't think. He is continuing to move in. Oh, that medevac lifting off the people that were susceptible to the force fields. This is going to be a death of an army, and that might be a very, very, very bad position for Hero to try and come back to. He did go ahead and warp in a whole bunch more Zealots and Templars in this spot, and he's going to go ahead and he cleaned up those units down there in that drop. So that's nice and all, but he lost his whole army. He killed this third, but I don't know if it was worth it or not. Hero is still behind the food count. He doesn't have that crazy upgrade that advantage that he should with this mass zealot force, but he's got to charge. He's moving forward, doing damage, but there's just so much from Puma. The storms have to get thrown off and have to land if Hero's going to want to get some good shots off, but he does get some nice storms off. Yes, great storms. Look at all the health on those units. They're all in the red, every single one of them, but he just needs one more storm to finish him off. Right now, it seems like he's going to lose those... Oh, he's going to lose those Phoenixes. That's unfortunate. That's a nice bit of map control and harassment possibilities. That would be great for Hero to continue in this, because right now he's going farther and farther behind. Even though he has the third base, Puma's in a much better spot. Puma's actually ahead in the food count and way behind in the worker count, which means the army difference is massive, and goodbye to the Phoenixes. They are dead. We do have this army moving forward. There should be, yep, here comes the Zealots coming from the back, but are there Templar in play to get the... to get those nice drops off? I don't really know, to be honest. We're seeing probes going down and EMPs on all those Zealots. The health is down, but now, okay, here we go. With all these Archons coming in and this High Templar that doesn't have enough for Storm. Oh, one Storm in that clump would have been beautiful, but it only just now has the Storm. But now we have the Archons being able to take those guys out. And look at all those units that are being streamed in by Puma wanting to take them out. So the income is so much in favor of Puma right now. 1,400, 1,300 to 300. Hero's getting close to mined out his natural. He's almost mined out in his main. You can see he's got double forges, but he can't even use them both. He's choosing to get the armor, the attack upgrades in lieu of the armor upgrades. And now though that this is able to get mined again, you can see the income starting to get a little bit higher for Hero, but just so much higher for Puma. Yikes, this is not looking like a good start for Hero. He does have charge though, but he's getting the attack upgrades and not the armor upgrades. Attack is great for Colossi, those DPS kind of things, but for when you're going for Mass Zealots, you need those armor upgrades. You need them to stay alive. Right now, Puma's got the 2-1, and Hero, he's maybe at 2-1 himself, but he needs that armor. He needs to keep the Zealots alive. I can't emphasize that enough. He needs to keep the Zealots alive. But I also think he might be going for this fourth base up in the top right, as he's just basically trying to keep map control and just not be susceptible to crazy drops. He does have a High Templar here with a Storm and maybe a feedback. Another High Templar, two High Templar here, both with a Storm available. So they're going to be able to stay in back, trying to defend against drops, which looks like they will be coming out, but also be there in case all these guys get EMP'd or sniped or something. Then you have readily accessible High Templar to help you out. And you see more Zealots being thrown in, and this medevac's going to continue going forward. It looks like this Marine scouting the top, actually going to lure that Zealot to the Planetary Fortress, and that will go ahead and fall. But oh no, Hero is moving out, and this drop is moving in. And seeing that pylon, we're probably going to see this force a cancel, as that pylon will fall to make sure there's no warp-in capabilities. And this is going to be like a dead expansion, and Puma is getting farther and farther and farther ahead. He's now getting the +2 armor along with the +3 attack, and that does force a cancel. Puma's got a 50 food lead. Look at this entire army moving back, and a robo being thrown down. I think that might actually be the first robo in this entire thing. Yeah, I think just the Stargate was put down and no robo for a while. That's hurting the vision of Hero and the scouting capabilities of Hero so much. But we're going to see this drops could happen some more, so we will keep an eye on that as these Zealots and Templar and Archons are going to move forward. But there's just not a good chance they'll be able to take out this army from Puma. This is a very strong army. Zealots are being used to take hold of Watchtowers. Notice the +3 attack is done for Hero, and right now it's just 2-1 for Puma, but it's about to be 3-2. That'll be an unfortunate occurrence. But this factory looks like it will burn down as the Marines, Marauders, Ghosts. Oh god, we're gonna see snipes on those Templar. Oh, 6 Ghosts, a lot of energy here. This Templar is here ready to go ahead and storm. But there's a drop distracting Hero in the back, as it seems we're going to have these guys pushing forward, and are we going to see there's one storm being thrown down. Actually managed to kill off a Ghost, but these Ghosts are still here and ready to EMP, ready to snipe, and just be really, really, really annoying. You can see the 4th is actually about to finish for Hero. That'll be a great way to get him back. But now we see these Marauders and Marines stimming and actually getting a Templar. Oh, that's such a good trade, as these guys are going to push forward, and we're going to see this attack coming in, but snipes, EMPs, and that is the luckiest Archon ever. Oh, wow. So he's got 4 health left. Now he can start regenerating shields, but I don't know if he's going to have time, considering that Puma has all these forces moving forward. Now we're going to see that this Marauder will lose its life, but the Ghost inching forward once more. Going to push in EMP all of those Archons and everything, all those Zealots, and push forward, do this attack. We can see that Hero's being forced to retreat. This doesn't have a nice thing, but feedback and Side Storm, nice on top of those Ghosts. But we can see Hero's being forced back into this choke, moving down. At the same time, this drop did do damage as Puma was moving forward, stemming all those Marines, doing attacks, being, oh my god, the damage. Oh, the damage. More side. Oh, if we just had 2 more Side Storms, 1 Storm here, 1 Storm here, all those guys would be dead. We do see a perfect surround with all these Zealots that are coming in, warping in, and doing more damage. It's so, so important. See, the Stalker's actually working on taking down the medevacs with some nice bit of DPS with that +3 attack and +2 armor. The upgrades are even for both players, but Puma is getting his +3. And now we see these Vikings land, continuing to attack, and it seems that Hero is in a bad spot. More units coming in for Puma. We do have full energy Templar, some more charges moving in, but this expansion has gone down, and a storm gets cast that actually managed to hit a whole lot of guys. Nice storms. I think that another feedback was actually put down as well, but these those Archons are going down. Zealots are being called in. All these probes going to be calling GG from Hero. So Hero does get taken out. The pylons, the probes do come in, but a little bit late, not even used to engage. Hero just ends up losing game number 1 to just solid play from Puma, just not taking damage from the Phoenixes, not being vulnerable when he loses his 3rd. He managed to get that right army attack pattern to move into that third base and defend and take out the vast majority of Hero's army. Because Hero's forced to actually warp in units into his natural expansion to make sure he has an army in case of that. Maybe been different if he used that proxy pylon to warp in a bunch of stalkers, charge lots in that case to try and be able to take out Puma in that respect, but he might have been fearing a counterattack. That might have been his thought process for why he brought in all those Templars and Zealots to his natural expansion instead of with his army. I don't know if that would actually make a difference or not in how this game went. Puma had a really good handle on everything Hero was doing. So it's going to be up to Hero to try and come back in this series completely behind right now. Being 0-1 in a best of 3 is rough. Puma's got a pretty comfortable game for his next game, and we'll see how it'll actually pan out. And even if Puma loses, he's got the third map choice that he can go ahead and use to his advantage too. So I'm kind of curious what Hero's going to pick for his next map, and we'll continue the series. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get to the next game.